welcome back to doing stuff with me on YouTube. So, we had fun last time. Yes.
Did we?
You enjoy judging people.
I do.
So I figured we would do it again. You want to do it again?
Yes.
Are you ready? So again, we'll give you titles and you can decide how you feel. And then we'll see with context if our opinions change at all. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter she was being a brat after she cried about blowing out her birthday candles?
Wait.
So she blew out her birthday candles and she started crying.
How old is your daughter? You sound like a jerk.
Based on that, I would say you're saying asshole.
Yes.
Okay. Context? I have 4 kids. 23, 20, 16, and 13.
Okay.
This concerns my oldest. I'll refer to her as Zara. We don't normally do big parties in our family after double digits and 18th, 21st, but Zara has been going through a bit of a difficult time, so we decided to throw her a surprise party. This was yesterday. It was a big family party and Zara was enjoying it. Then the cake was brought out. I have a lot of young nieces and nephews, so naturally they wanted to stand up with Zara, and she had no issue. When she went to blow out the candles, my 5-year-old niece blew most of them out before her. Everyone laughed it off. My youngest actually put 23 candles on the cake, and there were still a few lit, so I told Zara to blow those out. She did, but she looked angry and started crying. She then walked off. After that, it got quite awkward, and my sister, niece's mom, got upset, embarrassed, that her daughter is a kid and didn't mean to do it, and she didn't think Zara would act like this. We all calmed her down that it wasn't her fault. I talked to Zara and told her that she was being a selfish brat and making a scene. She's 23, getting mad about birthday candles. She was still upset, and my other kids are telling me I wasn't being fair to Zara. Am I the asshole?
That's kind of, I think brat isn't the right word. Sensitive, probably. And, I don't know how to explain it. That's kind of both sides seem to have overreacted. Because, the kid was being a brat.
The 5-year-old was being a brat.
The 5-year-old was being a brat.
I understand
also,
you're 5, but you also understand the concept of a birthday and other people's birthdays.
But, at the same time, I feel like being an adult and crying over that is a little bit silly. That's a little goofy.
Here's the thing that I caught, though, and it was a throwaway line, which is suspicious to me when you say one thing and then you just move on. She's been going through some difficulties lately. So they decided to throw this party. So clearly, Zara is going through some things, so they decided to surprise her with a party, for one, and then, have this cake situation. My feeling is, especially when she keeps saying, well, in the moment and at this time, and blah, 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 there's a track record here, it sounds like, where the 23-year-old, if you're having problems or you're struggling, I don't care how old you are, you need to be sensitive to that. And maybe with the way that she reacted to this, maybe throwing a surprise party wasn't the right way to handle it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that there's more here, and I think even with reading this, there's not enough context.
Yeah.
Reddit dubbed the parent the asshole. And I'm going to read this one to you, because it's got some depth to it, so it sounds like they really kind of thought it through. Imagine seeing your daughter shedding tears and walking away, not causing a scene, and going to yell at it for ruining the day. OP, you said it yourself. She was going through a lot, so she might have been heartbroken or extremely emotional that she didn't even get to blow out the candles on her own birthday. Read, everything in her life is not going the way she wishes it would. Also, seeing you went to call your daughter names instead of consoling her, I think you're also a big reason for her feeling down at the moment. You're the asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of get that too. At the end of the day, a 5-year-old's a 5-year-old. A 5-year-old's gonna be a little shit. Yeah. You pull the 5-year-old aside and say, look, I understand you didn't think this was a big deal, but it's not your birthday. You can't blow out someone else's candles, but I don't think the 5-year-old's an asshole. I think it was a jerky thing to do. Like, I think at 5 you...
5-year-old.
Right.
Like...
Yeah, I think at 5 you understand the concept of a birthday, but you're 5. Oh, shit. Would you like some clarifying? To clarify, her best friend's brother had died.
Oh my god, that's like a lot more... Wow.
Ooh, even more clarification. Her best friend's brother was also her partner.
Oh my god.
A, don't throw a surprise party.
Yeah.
B, understand that this was not about birthday candles. This was about Zara being put in a situation where she had to put on a brave face where all she wanted to do was be in her room and cry. Like, yeah, the parents are the assholes here. With no context, am I the asshole for banning my girlfriend from bringing my friend's ex over to my house?
Repeat?
Am I the asshole for banning my girlfriend from bringing my friend's ex over to my house? This sounds like a double date kind of a situation.
I didn't
where
mean to say yes, I meant no. Wait, repeat. Okay, hold on.
Am I the asshole for banning my girlfriend?
Your girlfriend?
From bringing my friend's ex over to my house?
Yeah, no. You're not. I'm trying to say yes, that's okay to do.
So,
first of all, it's this guy's house.
Okay, so not the asshole is what you say.
Yeah.
Let's get some context. Recently, a friend of mine, Anthony, 31, and his wife, Carly, 29, went through a pretty nasty divorce. They had a child together about 1.5 years ago, and things just weren't working between them. There were some issues with attraction. He felt it was getting monotonous. He was interested in pursuing other relationships, and ended up finding a spark with a then coworker who's now his girlfriend. And the whole thing was just a mess. She did end up getting child support and alimony, but there were issues with how his family structures their trust, which meant she left a lot on the table. Still, even now, it's not like she's actually below the poverty line or anything, so it's whatever. I didn't think we would be seeing much more of her since she's my friend's wife, who we weren't particularly close with, and there's no real reason why we would need to have any more contact than him, given that she was his wife. However, my girlfriend has been getting together and commiserating with her for some reason, and now their conflict, which I have deliberately kept away from, is now bleeding into my life too. My girlfriend keeps bringing up how unfair what my friend did was, how he's barely paying attention while they struggle, etc., despite me saying that it's none of our business repeatedly. She's constantly passive-aggressive towards Anthony, even though he hasn't done anything to her. She even brought Carly over while me and Anthony were hanging out, saying she's her friend and she's allowed to have guests. As you can guess, this has led to some heated arguments. She's glad to know he's having fun eating edibles and playing video games with children. Yes, she even referred to me and our other friend as children to our face. We're both 22. While she's exhausted taking care of their child alone, etc. Now keep in mind this is my house. My parents gifted me this condo when I graduated, and I pay all the utility bills. I'm letting my girlfriend stay here because her roommates didn't want to renew their lease. She's trying to frame this like I'm not letting her see her friends, which is absurd. She's clearly 100% in the wrong here, right? Am I the asshole, or is she for trying to bring this woman into our home?
That's kind of a tricky situation.
This is kind of an everybody sucks.
Because it's his house.
He pays the utility bills. The house is free and clear, which doesn't really matter. I mean,
it's still
in his name.
It's still his house.
I can understand wanting to be able to not pick sides, because if she was friends with Carly before all this went down, she should be allowed to stay friends with Carly. And even though this is him posting it, the impression that I'm getting with how this is going down is Carly's got the kid. Carly's having to pay bills. His alimony and support is clearly not enough for the full support of that from what we're hearing here. And Anthony's just hanging out and eating edibles and playing video games and has a little easier. There's a lot of animosity between the two of them.
I guess what I'm saying is, I get, if you have a friend and they have an ex, you don't want to be involved in that. You don't
Right.
want that in your house. And also, even if she's like, there's still rules that she'd have to follow, even if she's paying something.
Right, exactly. So, like, he can say, your friends can come over, but here's the house rules. But one of those house rules should be, she's the asshole for having that friend over knowing that Anthony was going to be there. Like, if you know that there's a struggle between them, she's the asshole for saying, Carly, come over, knowing that Anthony was going to be there. He's the asshole for saying you can't be friends with her at all. Like,
did she really say that?
I don't know.
Did he really say that? Because it just sounds like, I don't want this person in my house.
And if that's
fine.
yeah,
Like,
that's
go to
fine.
coffee.
Like, yeah, like, you guys can hang out other places. Like, you don't need to bring it to my house. But then, you know, being fair, like, because they're in a relationship, there should be some give and take compromise, too. Where, like, okay, but if I can't have Carly over, and you know that I've sided with Carly in this argument, then maybe we should come to some kind of a compromise about both of them as friends. Like, not purposely trying to ruin your own relationship to pick sides in somebody else's past relationship.
You were friends with that person before it, and you were friends with that person. I don't feel like it's picking sides. I feel like it's, you're
Sticking
my
with your friend.
I'm gonna be your friend.
Yeah.
Like, he's said that I don't want to be involved in this. He's just trying to hang out with his friends. So I don't think this dude's trying to start a fight. I think he's just...
Well, I mean, I guess
I'm in his house.
I guess I'm looking at it a little more broadly, too. I guess, again, there's a little bit of context missing here as far as how their friendship worked before the breakup. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, if it's his house and he's paying the bills, he gets to decide what those house rules are. And if she's really uncomfortable with this guy being there, like, I get where you're saying that, like, because he owns the place that he shouldn't have to tell her who he invites over, but, like, that's your girlfriend. If you know that she's really got that strong a beef with somebody, like, if I said, hey, I'm gonna bring, you know, somebody that you don't like over here because they're my friend, I'd give you the heads up just so you know that they're going to be here because I care about you. And I know that you hate them.
I don't think that they should even be dating at that point.
Right.
You like her, I like him, I want to be friends with my friend, you want to be friends with your friend. It's not gonna work.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Because
everybody kind of sucks here.
Like,
everybody kind of sucks.
He can invite whoever he wants over because it's his house. And if she doesn't like who he invites over, that should be her reflection to say, I shouldn't be with this guy. He shouldn't have to stop being friends with someone if he doesn't want to be involved in the drama and he just wants to stay friends with his friends.
Right. And you're 22. If you want to, you know, eat edibles and play video games, fucking do it. Like, you know, go off, have fun. But, like, if they really can't stand to be around these two people, like, he's like, I don't want this, you know, affecting my relationship. Well, clearly it is. And instead of sitting here and trying to decide, you know, how you comfortably maneuver being friends with these people you were friends with before, figure out how to fix your relationship. Because otherwise you guys are going to be in the same situation. If you genuinely care about your girlfriend, y'all need to sit down and talk.
Everyone in this situation has a reason, and everyone is kind of being stupid about that reason.
Right, yeah. Everybody has a valid reason for being an asshole. Kind of. But Reddit dubbed this guy the asshole. So let's see what they have to say. Oh, see, where people are kind of... And again, this isn't OP being the asshole. They're all clicking on this line of, the friend pursued other women while he was still married. Which makes that guy an asshole.
Yeah, but we're talking about the other guy.
Exactly. Like, what was Chad? What was his name? Anthony. I named him Chad. Anthony would be the asshole then. Because he cheated on his wife, decided to get divorced because he found a spark with a coworker, and now everybody is mad at each other because Anthony cheated.
Were they already having, like, issues, and they knew that they were going to get divorced? Because then it gets into, like, when do you think that it's okay that you start dating people?
The way it's phrased here is kind of... It makes me think, because OP is friends with Anthony, that might have gone one way. I'm gonna repeat that beginning part again. Anthony and Carly went through a pretty nasty divorce. They had a child together about 1.5 years ago, and things just weren't working between them. There were some issues with attraction. He felt it was getting monotonous. So he doesn't say anything about Carly saying anything like that. He was interested in pursuing other relationships and ended up finding a spark with another coworker.
This is, again, it's a situation where, like, technically it's his house. He can do what he wants.
Right.
But, like,
Anthony is the asshole. OP's trying to be a good friend. I kind of feel bad for OP because it sounds like he's trying to juggle all the balls of everybody else and their animosities towards each other, and he's just like,
said that he does not want to be involved.
Right, this is my friend Anthony. I just wanna eat my edibles and play my video games and hang out with my buddy.
Real.
Like, I think of everybody in this, I think OP is the least asshole. Cause like he's like, this is my house. I want Anthony to be able to be here. I don't think he cares if Carly comes over. I think he cares that Carly comes over when Anthony's there. Because it's just going to make things shitty.
That's probably why he's saying it in the first place. I don't think it's an issue with the girl. I think it's an issue that, like, why are you showing up trying to cause issues?
And why are you trying to dictate what happens in my house? So, like, as far as the ranking of who's the biggest asshole, Anthony wins. Anthony's an asshole. He, cheated on his wife. He, is getting this nasty divorce. He's creating everybody getting pissed because of his actions. So Anthony's kind of your starting point. I'd say the girlfriend's probably second because she's just feeding into that by saying, well, then I want to be friends with Carly and trying to dictate what happens in a house that she graciously was invited to live in after her roommates didn't want to renew a lease.
And, like, I guess, like, why are you still friends with a person who cheated? But, like, again...
If it doesn't affect you, though, like...
I mean,
if you leave...
It's kind of bad morals, but, like, at the same time...
If you leave that out of your
house.
Friendship.
I keep getting led back to...
It's his
house.
It's his house.
And if you don't like it, leave.
Yeah. I think...
He's not a good guy, but, like, it's his house.
Yeah, right.
What can you do about it being his house?
It's a very different analogy, but, like, politics... Like, if you don't agree with who somebody voted for, don't talk about politics and you can keep your friends. Like, if OP thought that what Anthony did, cheating on Carly, was, a bad thing, but, like, bro's been there with me for a really long time, he's a good friend, should he lose his friend because his friend cheated on someone else? Yeah. Kind of this is a really bad phrase, but it kind of gets the point across, bros over hoes. Like, you're my friend, it shouldn't matter, like, yeah, that was a shitty thing to do, man. I'm glad I don't have to date you, like...
I guess it's a lot of morally messed up stuff going. It's too hard to...
It is, but like I said, and regardless, when you are committed to one person... End your commitment before you get wrapped up in other things. Yeah. So Anthony's the biggest asshole based on that. Like, I get it if things change over the course of time and you realize you're not with the right person, I can understand falling out of love with somebody, but there's a way to do it right, and Anthony did it wrong. The girlfriend to me would come in second, just on the aspect of she's got that looking into the situation from, that outside perspective of, I don't like Anthony. I like Carly. I want to have Carly over. OP just wants to stay the hell out of it. And she keeps insinuating herself into the conversation. Carly, I think, absolutely hates Anthony and is probably talking smack about him behind his back, clearly. But you can't go to a house that you're not invited to. So the girlfriend said, hey, come over. And whether Carly knew Anthony was there or not, the fact that the girlfriend invited Carly over knowing Anthony would be there makes her hedged out a little bit more on the asshole scale.
It's so hard, because, like, on one hand, he doesn't want to be involved, but, like, his friend's a jerk. Why are you friends with that dude? Your girlfriend is in the middle of it, too, and the other girls are jerks. It's too many people in that are jerks.
Yeah, there's a lot of jerky behavior going on. Everybody's comments in here are, again, going back to Anthony being the problem. Like, that's not OP. Like, that's not OP. So I would say OP is not.
I'd say
he sucks,
there
but
is not enough for me to fully agree with either side. Because...
Everybody sucks?
Yeah, it's like...
I'll give you everybody sucks.
That was too much. Because, like, no one in that seemed like a good person.
With no context. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Am I the asshole for telling my coworker off in a public space after she announced to my students I was pregnant?
No.
Not the asshole.
Because that's kind of... Ew. Why would you... Ew.
That's kind of ew. 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 All right.
Ew. Ew. Who does that?
We recently found out we are pregnant. I'm a 26-year-old and was terrified as my family had a rough go of miscarriages. I went to the doctor, everything was okay, but we were still only 8 weeks and things go wrong all the time. That night my husband, a 29-year-old male, came home and said a teacher, a 63-year-old female, was digging into him at lunch asking if I was pregnant. He played it off and told her no. Husband and I are teachers in the same building. The next day, teacher came into my class and announced my pregnancy after guessing and no facts. I told her and my class no, just a routine physical. My 7th graders got awkward and pretended they didn't hear. She left my room, and that evening I ran into her at a local restaurant. She kept asking me why I was avoiding her. I said I was upset and needed space. She didn't give me space. I warned her that if she asked one more time, I was not going to hold my tongue. She asked. I went on a rant about how inappropriate it was to assume pregnancy for anyone. If I was pregnant, she stole our thunder by stating a rumor. If I wasn't, she started a rumor that could be painful. I could have infertility issues and struggle to conceive or carry a child. I could have found out bad news at the doctor, or I could have been at the doctor doing biopsies for cancer. In short, she did not know and should not have dug. She scoffed and said, "Sorry," while walking away. A lady nearby came over and hugged me and said she was proud of how I handled myself. I wish more people of the older generation understood boundaries and praised people for sticking up for themselves. For the next 4 weeks, she refused to talk to me or my husband, talked trash about a program she helped me for and I implemented to our coworkers, and she acted like a child in any regard around us. But I lied to her. We are 13 weeks today. We announced our pregnancy last week, and teacher said she was so excited that she was right and asked if her and I were okay. I said I needed space, but she is constantly waving it in my face, asking how I feel. I believe she is doing this in hopes I just get over it, but honestly, I don't know if I have the space to forgive her right now. So am I the asshole for yelling at her in public and lying to her even though she was right? Abso-fucking-lutely not.
No! No! There's so many things wrong with this!
It is not your business to announce anything having to do with anyone else's body.
Or anyone's business.
I should say that again for the politicians in the back. It is not your right to dictate anything that has anything to do with anyone else's body, unless you are in a committed relationship and they ask your opinion.
If I see anyone that says that they... If anyone says that they were in the wrong, I think I would die.
Reddit has dubbed this person not the asshole.
I was about to go off.
This woman sounds terrible. I would speak to her as little as possible and only politely about work-related subjects from now on. Oh, and congratulations on your pregnancy. Your coworker is engaging in gender-based harassment and is discussing your medical concerns with the children in your class. This is 1,000,000% inappropriate, and your HR or your union need to be told what's going on so they can read her the riot act. All right. Am I the asshole for making my brother's vegan girlfriend feel alienated at my engagement dinner?
Repeat?
Am I the asshole for making my brother's vegan girlfriend feel alienated at my engagement dinner? And alienated is in quote fingers. Yes.
Just because I can't tell, like, what the quote-unquote alienated is.
So yes, the asshole is your initial.
Yes, just because, like, I can't... There needs to be context for that. That's... yeah.
Okay, so this is an engagement dinner, if that changes anything for you. I'm a 24-year-old female and recently got engaged and had an engagement party dinner this past weekend. I'm currently still receiving backlash from this and want to get some outside opinion if I was in the wrong. My fiancé and I invited both of our immediate family and close friends to this dinner, about 30 people. The dinner was held at a nice Italian restaurant in my city. Our invites gave our guests the option to choose between a meat option and a fish option for their mains. It's important to note the only people in both mine and my fiance's family that have, I guess, food restrictions are my dad and stepmom, as they are pescatarian. But a lot of people in our family love seafood, so the fish option was chosen more than the meat option. My younger brother, a 20-year-old male, contacted me about a week before the dinner to RSVP and ask if he can bring a +1, his new girlfriend. He chose the meat option. Now, my brother dates around a lot and is always bringing new girls around, so I wasn't aware that he was even in a relationship. I told him sure, and that I'd have an extra seat for her. Night of the dinner comes, everyone is having a good time. I meet my brother's new girlfriend, and she seemed very sweet. When it came time to eat, she pulled one of the waiters aside and loudly asked him, "Is there any vegan options?" The waiter looked confused and said, "We have a fish and a meat option for the mains. I can offer you a salad and some roast potatoes and other veggies as a substitute if you wish." Brother's girlfriend started getting mouthy with him and said, "Well, what if I don't want a salad, huh? You just assume because I'm vegan I only eat salads? What if I want some pasta? What kind of a restaurant is this? This is discrimination."
Okay, keep going.
We're not done yet. Hold it. Hold it. My brother started trying to calm her down, but she started going off on me, saying, "Why would you pick a restaurant that doesn't have vegan options? Many people are vegan nowadays. It makes me feel alienated that you couldn't even think to accommodate me." That's where the quotes for the alienated come in. She was literally quoting her. I explained to her that the only people that have food restrictions are pescatarians. So that's what I considered when I chose the restaurant. I didn't even know she was coming until a week ago. The reservation had been booked a month ago. She started saying it's embarrassing on my part that I can't accommodate all my guests and called me small-minded. I told her, "Sorry, I didn't think to accommodate you. I'll consider that in the future. Hopefully you'll be around long enough for me to be able to do so." She ended up leaving. My brother walked out with her and has been messaging me that I should apologize to her because I embarrassed her in front of everyone. I told him she embarrassed herself. My mom has also been on my case to apologize, to be the bigger person and keep the peace. Am I the asshole for making her feel alienated?
Okay, this girl can go sit down. You're fine. Take a deep breath. You're okay. It's not the end of the world. You're okay.
This is not a knock on vegan people in general. If you want to be vegan, be vegan. Proud of you. Good, strong, great. When the brother called her and said, "Hey, can I bring my new girlfriend?" he picked the meat option. Why did he not say, "Oh, I would like to bring my new girlfriend. By the way, she's vegan. Is there any way to call the restaurant and see if they can, figure something out
Make
for her?"
a pasta because she wants pasta so bad. But maybe I don't want a salad. Maybe I want pasta.
Okay, then maybe you should have coordinated that earlier.
And also, why didn't you just say, "Is there any pasta?"
Is there a way I could order pasta?
Because I bet that they have noodles.
I bet they do. I bet this restaurant still would accommodate, if she hadn't been a condescending bitch about it. Hey, you know what? I kind of came into this last minute. I'm vegan, so I'm wondering, what some options are. Do you have a pasta option? Because that kind of sounds good. The brother should have set the precedent that, by the way, new girlfriend is vegan. Can we make that work? If not, let me know right away, and I will feed her before we come, and we'll go get something vegan together, and then we'll come just to honor you for your engagement. There's so many ways that this could have gone down better. So, both the brother and the girlfriend are kind of the asshole here. OP, I love the little dig at the end. If you're around long enough for me to accommodate your veganism, go off, bitch. But, OP's not the asshole. The brother and the girlfriend did not approach this well. I'm not saying she's an asshole because she's vegan. I'm saying she's an asshole because she assumed that made her elevated above everyone.
You don't like her because she's a sassy vegan.
She's suffering from first world problems veganism.
Exactly.
Where oh my god, what if I don't want salad? Just because I'm a vegan doesn't mean all I eat is salad. We get that, honey, but you didn't give anybody enough time to accommodate your needs. It's I have to ask questions about menus because I have some food intolerances and things. You saw it when we were out the other day. I literally had to say, "Hey, do you have a mayo that's not spicy? I can't do spicy." If they would said, no, sorry, that's all we have. I'm like, okay, cool. Then can we just skip the sauce? But what do you say? What's your verdict?
My verdict is, I think that the girl is a little silly. I think she's silly.
She's silly? But is she an asshole?
Yes.
Am I the asshole for not giving my girlfriend money for nothing?
Okay, one more time.
Okay, ready? Okay. Am I the asshole for not giving my girlfriend money for nothing?
For nothing. No. What? Your money out of your pocket for nothing? What? No.
Okay.
Ah.
Kid says, not the asshole. Oh no, I don't like the first sentence. I don't like you from the first sentence. Okay. This whole story has been a drawn out event, and it needs some context. So I, a 31 male, have been working in the business sector for a little over 7 years. It's been paying very well, as my field in logistics has been growing steadily for a while now. I've been very particular about my finances ever since I was a teenager. I've always made sure to save and invest intelligently. A little over a year ago, I met my girlfriend. We'll call her Sarah, of course. Now, Sarah, a 29-year-old female, is an incredible person. She's been supportive and kind and loving throughout our entire relationship, and I've tried my hardest to return that same energy. But she had a really large issue come up in her field last month. She works in physical therapy, and her company laid her off last month. She hasn't been smart with her money at all. I've tried to tell her to invest, but she still only put away about 10% of her income, and she made a big investment in herself last year moving into the city, so her financial situation isn't great. She only has a couple thousand saved up, and she had to move out of her apartment when she got laid off due to its ridiculous rent, $1,500 a month. She asked me if she could move in for a bit to get back on her feet, and I begrudgingly obliged. She's great, she's incredible, but I begrudgingly let her move in with me. My apartment isn't massive, and it's way more expensive getting food for two every night. Now it's been over 2 weeks, and she still doesn't have a job. She had a couple interviews, but they've fallen through. I asked her about when she thinks she'll get another job, and she says it'll probably take a bit. I feel like she's taking advantage of me. To top it all off, she asked yesterday if she could borrow $100 to pay off her credit card bills from earlier in the month. I told her that I'm done giving her money for free and that she needs to get a job soon because it's costing me so much keeping her in and feeding her. She started crying and said that she couldn't believe how I was acting after how long we'd been together. My friends think I'm being too harsh on her. Am I the asshole?
No.
Hold off. Edit. I know $100 isn't that much money, but it's the principle of asking me to pay off her own payments that irks me. She made those purchases. She should be responsible for them. Edit 2. Me and her talked again, and she couldn't believe how I treated her. I tried again to explain myself, but she just stormed off and said that we're done. I don't get how she could do this to me after everything we've gone through. Is OP the asshole?
No! Get a job! Freak! That's all.
Reddit has dubbed this person the asshole.
Why? Get a job! Why? Why?
A, the job market is hard right now.
McDonald's will welcome you with open arms!
But will McDonald's afford $1,500 a month in rent?
It'll pay off that $100, honey, I promise.
True. Okay, you ready for Reddit's take? You're the asshole. Listening to the way you describe the situation, it's obvious you do not have a high opinion of her. She sounds like a nice girl who is down on her luck, and you're kicking her when she's down. Quite frankly, you don't deserve her. If 2 weeks and $100 is enough for you to lose your shit. She's only been out of work for 2 weeks.
Oh, well that's... that's less... Okay, I thought we were talking about, like, months on end here.
She said it was going to be a bit, and she's had some job interviews already in 2 weeks.
Oh.
So
never mind.
Wow.
I thought that this person was, like, here for months, and she was just kind of sitting there, like, well, I've done job interviews. Give me money.
2 weeks, and she's already had some interviews. It's not like she's lazing about like OP seems to imply.
That's what I thought! Like...
2 weeks is nothing when it comes to a job search. I've had individual interview processes go longer than that.
Okay, I changed my mind. My bad. I was being silly. Oopsies. This person would definitely be good at persuasive essays, because I...
There are so many people on this sub that are desperate for their spouses, significant others, kids, and parents to get off their asses and find any work for years. And you gave her 2 weeks.
I swear to God, I thought that it was longer. I didn't know it was 2 weeks.
So, like,
I missed that.
And she said a bit. Like, she didn't say, like, well, it'll be a couple of years. Like, she's actively looking. I think they've been together for a while, too. Like, a little over a year ago. So these people have been together for a year. Over a year. And her field had some layoffs, so she's been out of work for a couple weeks.
I get it now. My bad.
That was fun. We never did come up with a cool way to end these. Tell them to subscribe to my channel.
No.
Tell them to like the video.
No.
Tell them you're the asshole.
Dislike it and report this account.
I hate you. Guess who's the asshole?
You, obviously.
Obviously you. How do we say goodbye?
Bye.
Bye.